Easter at Santa Pod. 60,000 people have come here to see one man, Don Garlits.
Okay, turn that fuel on to about 9.
Here, he prepares for a qualifying run. His first run on English soil for 12 years.
We're going down first.
You what?
We're going down first, so we can go right across to get back into this lane here,
Okay,
right?
okay, good.
You picked the right time for an interview, excuse me.
Running alongside him, also for a qualifying run, one of Europe's top racers, Clive Skilton. Both cars are push-started to fire up the engines, Skilton first. Garlits waits for Skilton to fire up and then signals his crew to move forward. Back in the pits, Dennis Stone and Jerry Andrews talk about Big Daddy.
He's a pure drag race, that man.
Well, he's so good. I mean, if he had a look at this one and he'd give us one or two tips and you just do them. You don't question it, you just carry on and do them. You know, he's just that good. It's like drag racing law book.
Both cars put in their first qualifying runs. Skilton is quickest, much to Big Daddy's surprise and concern.
I left first.
Oh, sure.
Oh, okay.
There's no question about that.
Because that's a half a second difference in the time.
But he just went past you about...
well, it was in the middle.
200 feet, and he started to lean on you, and then about just over third distance, I would say, he came past.
Shot right out in front, and then it stops him.
Well, it's not actually his usual standard. He usually comes straight off the trailer and runs a 5. But over here, he's never been on this track before, and I think he's just feeling his way. He's got one more run to do.
Garlits brings down his Swamp Rat dragster for his second mandatory qualifying run. The engine in his car can develop over 2,000 brake horsepower. To get this power to the ground involves expensive transmissions and techniques like the burnout. Ron Burrows, the mechanic, puts down water into which Garlits will move the car. He then puts his foot hard on the loud pedal and spins the rear drag slicks until the surface tread rubber starts melting. His tyres and the tarmac will then be very sticky and promote excellent traction. Dennis Priddle, strip record holder, looks on.
I currently hold the track record at 6.04, and I don't think he's going to beat it.
So Garlits edges his car into the timing beams, ready for his final qualifying pass. His engine looks decidedly unwell. He puts in the necessary second run, but qualifies with a 6.9 second blast in 5th position.
I have a good idea what the trouble is, but I don't have parts to fix it. I'm a long ways from my supplies.
He's been the tops for 27 years. That man he can run fast when he wants to run fast. He can run slowly when he wants to run slowly. In my opinion, he's just trying to put on a show. He's making everybody think that they're very good.
No, I got in drag racing in about 1950, and of course drag racing in the United States was just getting started, and I had a little Ford coupe that I used to race. Used to run about 19 seconds in the quarter, and of course I drove it on the street every day, and that's what appealed to me about drag racing, because you could in fact run the car that you drove back and forth to work. You could use it at the drags, which like a lot of the fellows right here do.
Clive Skilton puts in his second qualifier at 6.3 seconds and really looks good. Garlits and Crane put down hard 6-second passes too.
Well, I hate to make predictions because in drag racing, you know, you never know till the last dog is drug off, as we say in the States, and anything can happen. I have to face the fastest qualifier, Peter Crane, who is a very formidable opponent. I'll have to do much better than I have done previously at this event. I've made 4 runs and have failed to break into any type of performance that my car is capable of. This car has run 6 seconds flat on many occasions, but we've been plagued with all types of difficulties that I've been just unable to straighten out.
But the moment of truth has arrived. Ron Picardo brings down his Firefly dragster in the first quarter-final. His crew frantically rush around to maneuver his car into the correct lane. His competitor, Alan Herridge, follows him down to the start with the Asphalt Alligator. Picardo does his burnout. Herridge burns out his slicks, momentarily screening the action from the spectators with thick tyre smoke. Picardo's pit crew direct him back into the sticky rubber tracks he made with his burnout. but he seems to be coming back a bit too fast. He's going to hit the water. And he has. The crew have completely wasted the burnout routine, and worse still, Ricardo does not know what's happened. Just look at those wet slicks. His car will be a real handful. The wet slicks have their effect, and Ricardo only just manages to keep control, whilst Herridge wins with 6.29 seconds at 216 miles per hour. On to the second quarter-final. Owen Hayward brings the Hound Dog dragster round with a new engine installed overnight. This will be his first run with it. Here's his competitor Tony Froome, but he's not happy with his engine as he prepares for the burnout. Hayward's car sounds strong, but Froome's worst fears are realised. The stress of the burnout proves too much for his engine, and Hayward makes a solo run for a place in the semi-finals. He makes it in 6.76 seconds at 200 miles per hour. His chute starts slowing him down whilst Froome starts counting his losses. But the action continues with the third quarter-final, and Clive Stilton brings Revolution 3 down the far-up road, followed by Hemi Hunter driven by Jerry Andrews. Stilton burns out in the near lane and they're ready for the race. Stilton wins a place in the semi-finals at 6.67 seconds, but it's nearly time for Garlits.